I'm not crazy, Malin. I'm not crazy, Malin. I've just been in a very bad mood for 40 years. 40 years.
Carpe diem. Carpe diem.
Got lots of love. Love. 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 Got lots of love, love. Got lots of love, love.
Welcome back, folks. Thanks for joining us here in the Console Gaming League. We're here in the mid-season tournament for Season 12. We've got the NA PC Open tier here for today, and I'm joined by Chef Billy for an exciting match between Yikes and Bonzi Buddies.
Yep, Bonzi Buddies, really known around a lot of the community tournaments going on. We hope to see them in Open Division, trying to get themselves into contenders. Of course, led by Zebra, one of my favorite content creators out there, very well known for their Doomfist shenanigans, and you know what? The guy knows how to play. And I've seen it across quite a few competitions going on. So I've had the opportunity to see this Bonzi Buddies team really get some serious work done. And I think this is going to be a really good test for them here. Yikes is also known as the Brian Stratton College out of Virginia, competing in the collegiate universe, was formerly, for last season, the Ochre ratings, the last ratings of the season, committee that I'm part of. They were ranked 17th in the nation as far as Overwatch collegiate teams go. So a chance for them to have some early season work. They won their first NACE match a couple days ago, getting out the gate there in NACE 1-0 in the early season so far. So great start for them. This is just extra mill to the grind, making sure that we've got synergy going, make sure they're understanding metas and getting competition experience under their belt. So, I mean, both teams have something to prove here. It is the first of three. Here's taking a look at the Yikes lineup: manually Slater, Cybele, Jimical, and I missed the last one. And then Bonzi Buddies, we got manually. Well, no, that's it's up there in Proto. Will be the main support there for Yikes, heading over to Bonzi Buddies. We'll take a look at them. That's going to be Sugureru Zomba, also known as Light, with 2 T's. They're on the Twitter or the X.com. Zebra, of course. And then Kai and Otters. And Otters is one of my favorite supports out there. Very flexible. We'll definitely be swapping up as the maps rotate around. Has a damn good Baptiste, though, and that's really what they're known for. Watch for Kai, though. Kai will be swapping around Kiriko. We will see some Ana sometimes as well. And I can't remember if it was Kai or Otters that picked up the Idioti, but we'll see how it actually turns out to be.
Yeah, regardless of who's playing what, quite the stacked roster. You know, like you've mentioned, the core of this roster has kind of been floating around the NA scene, right? Playing in Dive Party, playing in Open Division, all these little like Tier 3 tournaments, and of course here in CGL, looking to punch their way up to Tier 2. I mean, Sugu and Otters have already done that, you know, been on some contenders team, have that experience to bring to the team and able to lead them. And of course, Zebra, the infamous Doomfist, incredible montages if you haven't already seen them. Manages to hit like top 10 playing Doom of all heroes, to quote, you know, Super Matthew DeLisi, you know, that's impressive AF. So obviously, you know, we're gonna expect to see Doom compositions. It's all over, you know, the player information for this team. They say favorite meta, favorite composition is Doom, 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 you know. And Zebra, he makes it work, right? He's just got the incredible mechanics and time on Doom to really show off. We'll see if Yikes are able to respond on our first map of Oasis here.
Well, I tell you what, watching what I've seen Zebra do against the buff Darissa compositions, ain't worried about it. Ain't worried about it. They have the tech and the rollouts and all the cooldown management down. So it's really going to turn out to how do you take away the enablers of Zebra? That is what Yikes is going to have to do here, is take away that back line first and foremost. They have to get rid of the back line, because if they try to take just Zebra down by brute force, they're not going to win. The support is too damn good coming out from Bonzi Buddies backline. Kai and Otters, oh my god. I mean, you'll see it. Their positioning is superb. The understanding of the teammates is too damn good. So that's where we're going to be looking at. I'm going to be looking for Yikes to get into their backline. They've got to know. They have to know that Zebra is the point of focus, but you can't be starstruck. You can't be looking at the sun. You got to be looking at the clouds behind it.
Yeah, you know, this tank obviously is, you know, I really hope, you know, there isn't kind of the plat chat mentality of everybody shooting the tank, you know, the hero whose sole job is to make you look at him, right, and tank up all the damage. Instead, you know, gotta look to sustain your own team while trading out backlines advantageously. So looking towards Yikes to try and do that here. You know, compositions, once again, for our first round in this single elimination bracket. You know, these two teams haven't faced against each other, both being 4-0 in their groups. What are you expecting from Yikes on Oasis to try and make this work to shut down the Bonzi Buddies?
I mean, I don't hate the Orisa going into Doomfist. I think Junker Queen actually has a little bit better of a time, because once you do get the power block out of the way, you can yank, you can take care of things, and, you know, try and really reposition the Doomfist point of view. If you rotate around, if you can land the Dragon Knife and pull them out of position, The problem is, and I think for Yikes, is that they've never seen anything on like this. Okay, I don't think they've ever gone up against a strategically placed OTP team. And while there are some moving parts for Bonsai Buddies, for the most part, you're going to get doomed down your throat almost the entire. You will get doomed down your throat the entire time. So how are they going to counteract that? How are they going to be able to get into the back line if they do decide to get aggressive and go towards the supports of Bonsai Buddies? How are they going to deal with that? And then you've also got to worry about Zomba and Sugaru in the DPS, and they are just absolutely filthy on their own. So there's a lot of moving parts here for Yikes. Yikes have to be coordinated. Now, good thing is that they are a collegiate team. They do practice. They do have scrim blocks going on together. So we'll get a chance here. It's going to start out on Oasis. Just a reminder, all round 1 matches will be starting on Oasis, and then it is the loser pick after that. So, for Yikes, it's going to be a Yikes time trying to deal with Zebra and company. The other thing is if you do happen to run the Junker Queen, you've got to be very cognizant of when Zebra does have the Empowered Punch up, because you can be knocked out of your Rampage and lose all the value of that ultimate.
Yeah, we'll see if Yikes, surely they've prepared knowing Zebra is one of the 3, like, Doom 1 tricks who can make this kind of thing work. Opting for the monkey composition, backed by a Kiriko here. They have mentioned that dive is their favorite composition, so we'll see how that pans out. The monkey able to zone people out with the bubble, of course, but this big head hitbox does suffer to the Doomfist hand cannon, as we see Zebra on the high ground, charge that empowered punch. Forced to back off and give up space for now, potentially looking for a re-engage once you get those cooldowns back. Kai here on the Life Weaver, interesting hero, recently buffed, because, it doesn't matter what your backline's doing when you've just got Zomba and Doom rolling over Yikes here.
Right, this is an easy first fight, and I mean, it's all because they empower Kai, or they empower Zebra going in. They've got the life rip, which makes getting your Doom out of a very precarious position so much easier. And now it's all about control. Once they burn down the Winston, it's all over for the Yikes competition.
Yeah, the monkey potentially getting cleared out by the soldier as the Doom looking at him as well. Sugu does fall to the Lucio here, so that's the Light Weaver gone as well. Zomba, though, able to trade back to Genji. Point control will eventually flip over to Yikes here, although we do see a last-second test from Zomba. 1 HP, each unable to live for too long, and it's Zebra's turn to take over the stall. Looking to get a little bit more percentage here, and they'll end up with 36%, but Yikes finally find the cap.
See, and there's the difference, is that they bypass Kai rather than charging, or they go past Zebra, and they stop charging up the Doom. And they take care of the rest of the team. Then they can go and collapse and use the pinch movement and take them out. So smart from them. Slater, over to the Genji. This is something that we're going to be looking for. So the hand cannon is going to be able to be deflected back. You got the dash to reposition.
Yeah, but the deflect not there to save manually from Kai's kunais. The headshots doing so much damage, so very quick flip from Bonzi Buddies. Pulse Pump will get rid of Cyber as well, so Yikes. A bit of a Yikes on a bike situation here. Slater falls as well. See if there's any other staggers. Not quite, and very cheap fight. Only a Pulse Bomb, your cheapest ultimate here, is potentially we see manually fall. It's a really rough stagger if you're Yikes here.
Well, I mean, they can get back into the fight relatively quickly. The problem here is, how are they now going to get past them? You've got Zebra waiting up in the overclock pop.
Yeah, you use the beat to respond. We'll have the Blade, joining it as well. Tree of Life, help players sustain from the Blade. They back up the point. Slater falling a little low here. Ultimates from both sides. Primal Rage and Kitsune Rush pop. Monkey just getting chunked down by the hand cannon. Manually trying to make something happen with the visor, trying to be the hero. with this Kitsune Visor, lots of damage pulling out, helps finish off Otters and picks up Zebra and Sugu as well. So, a deadly combination, although looks like Bonzi Buddies are gonna be able to stall it out to potentially 99 last fight territory regardless.
I mean, but it's still a good fight turn there for Yikes. Once they were able to, once again, they took down Otters first, and then they were able to kind of wend their way around and get the work done onto the rest of Bonzi Buddies. And Zebra, once again, without the heals being there, yeah, you can get a lot of damage done, but if you don't have the sustain, the Doomfist is going to crumble like a stack of cards.
Yeah, the Doomfist does have that Meteor Strike and able to get out of jail for free, so we'll see what happens with this engage. The Powered Punch, though, doing so much work. Sugu as well jumping in on that. Zomba joins for their own kill as well, so it's looking real rough with your Yikes. I'd be shocked if they're able to get some sort of meaningful recontest here.
No, this will be Jover. This will be Jover at 70 to 99. This will be map number 1 going over to Bonzi Buddies. We'll see what submap we head to next, but right now, the dive is not working. I mean, you see that there are times where they're getting fight wins, and they're starting to do the Overwatch calculus that's required to take down a Doomfist. But as far as what we need to see from Yikes right now, yeah, I like this pick a lot better, and this is the brawlier map of the submaps here in Egypt. So for Yikes, I like the map switch as well. You need something to defend against Suguru and Zomba coming in. Zomba really did put on a little bit of a performance there with the Tracer. I absolutely loved that they did not have an answer for both the dive targets coming in from Bonzi Buddies.
Yeah, it's all about the problem solving and adaptability here for Yikes. You know, you don't get to scrim that many Doom OTPs. So, Cyber here on the Junker Queen looking for those Gracies onto Zebra to shut the Doomfist down. We'll see a rotation onto high ground for Bonzi Buddies, just allowing Sugu to kind of rain down the soldier and SMG here. Zebra looking to potentially engage. No charge punch just yet, but going around a TP from Yikes. Kited out, you know, a little predictable, it seems. Weren't too fast on that, but as I say that, the supports are falling. Otters and Froda traded out. Zebra, though, getting melted by this Sim Beam from Manually. A high charge beam, you know, despite the power punch, or, power block from Doomfist. Not too long for the world.
Well, I mean, that's a great fight win for Yikes. And I mean, that they got, you know, an opening pick. It's going to take something because a 5v5 situation for Bonzi Buddies to try and win in the neutral. You have to go somebody other than Zebra.
It's like a very quick recontest and cap for Bonzi Buddies here. Ultimates should be coming online pretty shortly for both sides. We'll see Zebra punch in and try and find some value, but falls extremely low, you know. Doesn't have the Suzu there to get him out, nor the life grip from Otters. The composition, you know, really centered around helping Zebra, you know, escape, enabling him, but they're unable to do so, and so Yikes will flip and start taking up percentage with ultimates to work with.
3 quick captures of the point. I mean, 22 to 16. That's an unusual number, which shows the really broken nature of these fights coming in now. Pulse Bomb and the Kitsune Rush ready to go. Slater with a nice touch, so taking the Tracer out.
Slater just hitting those combos, and that's Yikes' time to potentially press go. They use the shout, but decide to think better of it, given that Bonzi Buddies' spawn is right there, and if they have 5 ultimates. We'll see which ultimates Yikes wants to use as well. Of course, just short of the Rampage here, which you have to concern about the Suzu from Kai here.
Does come out from Muscle, but it's an immediate reposition that forces the life tree out.
Yeah, the Tree of Life, not quite able to heal you from the slice and dice of the Genji here. Zebra does pick off the Symmetra in Manually, and that's a Suzu forced out. We could potentially see a Rampage from Geiger here. Next on to Zebra, but unable to find any kills just yet. Still, though, point percentage ticking up for Yikes this whole time, and a Symmetra wall to keep them nice and healthy.
I like this, you know, aggressive use of ultimates, maybe a little bit premature on the photon barrier, but I mean the work's done. But you take him out. Oh my God, Zebra's huge again.
I mean, that really shows you the power of Zebra on this Doomfist, right? Manually, at one point you were full HP, next second you get the lead into Zebra looking for another, and Zomba helps finish off Proto here, so should be cleanup for Bonzi buddies, but yikes, able to get the percentage ticked up all the way to 99.
Well, I mean, it'll be one fight here to make sure that we get it all done and take ourselves to Garden. They kind of emptied their ult bank out. I mean, Proto's going to come up with a window here as we look at Bonzi buddies trying to make the approach here, or capture the approach coming in from Yikes. Zebra's going to have his get out of jail card. You've got Zomba coming up on another pulse bomb. We saw how good they have been so far with this, so this is going to be all about quick focus down.
Both Baptistes are off, and this Lucio doing a little funny maneuvering on the side. Otters falls, and Zomba investing, you know, the recall, trusting the mechanics, and rewarded with it, with the kill on Jerem. It seems like Zebra will be off the map. Gravity catching quite a few people here on University, but in the end, you know, it works out in favor of Bonzi buddies, who've swapped over to the Echo as well.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say Sugaru over onto the Echo. You're just looking for burst down on Cyber as they make their approach, but they're going to have both support ultimates and the blade coming into this next fight.
Oh, a beautiful stick, but an immortality field just in time from Proto to keep everybody healthy. Still have to contend with the Kitsune rush, but instead they're going to dump all their own ultimates. They've got the beat blade here, unable to find anybody to slash just quite. Zebra on point, keeping the contest alive. But Bonzi buddies, they don't have the numbers. Kai's fallen. Slater absolutely deletes Zomba on the Tracer. Zebra trying to pull out some heroics. I mean, we've seen him 1v5 many a times, but I don't know if it's quite gonna happen here. The Symmetra wall out for manually, and Sugu falls. Jimmical. Zebra trying to make something happen, trying to keep this point alive, but I don't think this is gonna be it. You know, just quick cleanups eventually onto these last little stragglers, and we'll be heading to Gardens, Billy.
I mean, great fight turnaround here for Yikes. They started really harrowing not only the backline of Bonzi buddies, but they're also being very selective, and they're really targeting Sugureru on a lesser mobile hero coming out from Bonzi buddies. So we'll see. We'll see how Yikes continues to adapt to what Bonzi buddies are throwing at them. Sugureru going down 3 times in engagements there first for this Bonzi buddies team. So yeah, we're gonna actually see the Sugu Genji come out here possibly. No, we're gonna stick with the Sojourn. You need to have that consistent damage coming through. So Slater getting the job done. The Genji has really thrown a wrinkle into what we want to see coming out from Yikes.
I mean, just hitting these one-shot combos on this Tracer, you know, not the kind of utility you would expect this Genji to bring out, but successful nonetheless. Bonzi buddies opting to kind of take over the space on point, although we will see a TP from Yikes, kind of flipping around away from Dark Room. Zebra kind of caught out, able to live for not for too long. Join Sugu in the respawn room, as it should be Yikes cleaning up these stragglers and getting first cap.
Oh, I mean, that should be Kai going down. It is, in fact, Kai going down, starting healing. You've got high ground control as well. Bonzi buddies could have a little bit of a time trying to get themselves in, but Slater got way too aggressive, and now they're in a 5v4 situation.
Yeah, the overextension is punished. We'll see if Zebra can knock anybody off the map. Not quite, but should be able to live with his life here. Potentially an amplification matrix coming up from Proto if they're able to live here, being attacked by the Doomfist, who's consequentially being beamed down by manually. I think a bit of an underrated pick here to try and deal with the Doom. Allows Eggs to clean up. They do trade out Lucio's, but Sugaru swapped over to the Genji, doing quite a lot of work themselves. Unable to, you know, make all the heroics happen, but forces a little bit of an interesting fight. It was really extended here as we're seeing, you know, the numbers come in from Bonzi buddies. They're able to actually sneak over the Cap, and Slater really low here falls to Otters. So off the back of picks from Sugu, Bonzi buddies with the point.
I mean, Sugu, having just swapped over to the Genji, has now lapped Slater on the Genji, so getting a lot more value with the Cyber Ninja. Now we're looking for double support ultimates coming in from Yikes, and we'll get the early consideration from Otters.
Kitsune Rush from Otters looking to make Zebra cooldowns extremely short. Proto falls first to Sombra with so many assists in the kill feed. The Symmetra wall unable to mitigate all the damage and keep Yikes from dying here. Zebra looking for these cleanups. And a nice little fight from Bonzi Buddies. Only the Kitsune Rush, although Yikes have their own ultimates to work with.
They do, and I mean, they did let loose with the Blade. They also let loose with the Photon Barrier, so now we're going to see manually going over to the Sojourn. So now they're going to have that consistent pump of damage coming out, including the Genji dash reset abilities coming through. This could actually be a very dynamic shift here for Yikes.
Yeah, so many ultimates available, so it's really a question of who comes out on top of an early immortality field and beat forced out. Beat Blade from the side of Bonzi Buddies, as well as the Meteor Strike from Zebra. Cyber does finally fall to Otters. You know, Slater looking to turn it around with the Blade, finds Kai, unable to find more, as I say that. Manages to pick up Otters, but throughout all of that, Bonzi Buddies are just still able to sustain and live. Heading into last fight territory, and Yikes has to be a big rampage from Cyber, despite the Suzu.
Yeah, I mean, if you can target down Otters first and, you know, pull the swift step away from them, Zomba, in a world of hurt right now, needs to get the top up. There it is. They're going to have the pulse bomb stick. It does not land. Now the hat comes out on the Zebra. That's a big change going over to Sombra.
Yeah, the amplification matrix out, but we'll see if this Sombra from Slater can find anyone. Still looking to try and force this Suzu so Cyber can get this rampage off. You know, a knife onto Zebra forces out a couple cooldowns, but not the elusive Suzu. So, kind of a slow duel on point here. As we will see Proto, though, fall, and finally the rampage comes out from Cyber. It's do or die, but instantly cleansed by the Suzu. Bonzi Buddies looking real healthy here, especially with the Kitsune Rush. Looking to clean Cyber off of this point with 1 HP and just barely... Zebra just barely able to live with the help of the Meteor Strike, and Oasis goes to Bonzi Buddies.
I mean, the fact that you lose you lose Proto there in the final fight, that's the bulk of your healing. So once we see them go down, it's over, and well, I mean, it's entertaining. We went to 3 sub-maps here in Oasis, but it is Bonzi Buddies coming out here. I mean, back and forth action. That's something that we're going to see here. The Doomfist does allow a lot of recontests to come through, because you don't have the same frontline pressure that you would necessarily have if you have an Orisa, if you have a Junker Queen going into these compositions. So like I said before, it's all about taking away the training wheels for Zebra. If you can take the supports and maybe one of the DPS out, that's when you're going to really start seeing the value of your composition being able to overturn what Zebra's bringing out there. But Kai and Otters are so elusive in that support line that they're making it very hard to be killed by Friend. And well, we'll see how they decide to work this chess match as we look at our next map type. It's going to be hybrid. We're waiting for the map pick to come in, and we'll see if it's going to be good. We'll see what map they're going to go to. We do have a standard set of maps here that they can choose from. So we saw Eichenwalde earlier today. I would assume that we're going to King's Row because of the Doomfist pick. I think that you want to kind of corral and make the approach into the Bonzi Buddy backline a little bit more linear, especially point 2. Point A, I mean, I don't put much stock in it based upon what we've seen so far tank-wise from Yikes and from Bonzi Buddies. I think point A should be easily taken for both teams. And it's going to be really the war of the streets and the foundry that's really going to set up how if they do go to King's Row, we'll see how it goes through.
Yeah, you know, King's Row traditionally, especially in Overwatch 1, a very Brawl favored map. You know, with loss of the off tank in Overwatch 2, we've seen the meta shift a little more to dive, but you know, looking at the other maps, Eichenwalde, Hollywood, Midtown, I would be inclined to agree that Yikes end up taking us to the streets of London here. see if they pull out the same composition, it's kind of Junker Queen that has found them, some success taking the submap of University, but not quite what they wanted. What do you want to see them kind of change up here to try and, get on that back line, deny the Kiriko from keeping the Doomfist up and healthy?
I really liked, even though it was a desperation switch, I really liked the Sombra coming out. Now the hack target shouldn't be Zebra though; it should be Kai on the Kiriko. Get a quick manual hack, get the headshots going through. Make sure that you're coordinating it. If you are going to run that, you need to make sure that you got somebody there with you to confirm the kill onto the Kiriko, because that's the real kicker. Especially if you're going to run the Junker Queen. You saw it happen there on Gardens. They got the rampage off. It was a four-man rampage, but immediately Suzu comes out and devalues the entire ultimate. So I think that if you are going to run any kind of a Sombra composition, it's got to be directed at the back line, and it's got to be perfectly coordinated. The dive onto that target has to be all in. Otherwise, you're just being a nuisance. And the other problem is that they haven't really figured out how to deal with Zomba when they're running the Tracer. I was talking about the masterclass on City Center. We saw it there again on Gardens, just everywhere and nowhere, all at the same time. And you love to see a Tracer that is able to bring that to the game. The one clips were absolutely disgusting. And just the raw damage output from that Tracer was absolutely magnificent.
Yeah, potentially the recently buffed Torbjorn or something to try and mark this Tracer. We do have our map pick. We will be heading into King's Row, just like you predicted, the #1 chef of cooking map predictions, of course, here, Billy. So how do you want to see them deal with this really oppressive Tracer from Zomba?
I think you're
so much value.
I think you're right. I think that you do bring out the Torbjorn, and we talked about it during the earlier series that we did today. It's almost like a radar. You know where the pressure is going to be coming from, especially if you put that turret in a special place, is how I like to call it. It needs to be someplace creative. It can't just be out in the open where anybody can shoot it down. It needs to be an LOS of one of your healers. When you're running this composition, you need to be able to have some kind of warning, almost like sonar. Like it starts going off because somebody's on your flank. There, you can call it out. You can rotate. You can get that peel for your backline. So I like the Torbjorn pick. Also, we can go to a flyer. We're not seeing necessarily like the steady steady frontline DPS that could deal with an Echo with the mobility there. We've got some mobility when we see manually running with the Symmetra. I mean, if you want to go full builder comp, I would not be upset at all. It'll do two things. The Symmetra turret such thing, it also slows down the Tracer. It'll force the cooldowns out. It'll force the recall a little bit sooner than you expected with the Torbjorn's turret in conjunction. A lot of fun can be had there. I think that I would like to see them at least try the Orisa coming into this Doomfist. I think that Orisa can stand up very well to a Doomfist, and the Javelin Spear being the one that I think really can reposition the Doom and doesn't allow them to get that tech rollout and the tech chain combos that you're used to seeing from Zebra.
Yeah, you mentioned flyers. I've seen Doomfist swat many a flyer out of the sky. So, we'll see if we see any of those shenanigans. But yeah, especially if you're running this builder comp, the Orisa with all of her cooldowns, of course, Fortify makes you immune to the CC, the Javelin, Spear, and Spin, as you both mentioned, able to shut down the Doomfist here. Yeah, if they pull out the Torbjorn, we'll see if they're smart with their placement here. Like you said, you can't just have that turret shooting down main where it's poked out. It has to be marking an angle intelligently placed. So, yikes. On the defense here, we are seeing Cyber potentially lock an interesting hero with lots of HP and armor. I wonder who that could be.
I don't know. It could be my beloved Donkey Horse. As I have called her forever, she is my main. I will not apologize. I also won't be taking any questions or comments from the Peanut Gallery. That's my girl, and I have loved her ever since Overwatch 1. I actually like her more now than ever. I think that she's a lot more viable. It's not the disgusting double shield comp that made everybody want to throw themselves into traffic. Back at Overwatch 1 days with the Orisa Sigma, especially here on King's Row, you were shooting into shields, 95% of the time and hoping that you could crack through it fast enough. The thing is that I want to see, what Bonsai Buddies can get here. Suguru will try to get one pop here off of the Widowmaker, and then they'll go back and either pull out the Hanzo or they'll go back to the Sojourn.
Hanzo is precisely what we see. Torbjorn as well. We're so good at predicting these heroes, Billy. We see Doom, Zebra going for a bit of a diag onto the backline. Unable to find anybody with a punch, but takes the space over on high ground.
Hello,
But Slater on this Torbjorn. In the meantime, it's just picked up too. Like we said, shutting down the the flanking the dive targets of this Tracer and Kai. Zomba in chat says so spammy. Precisely what the Torbjorn's able to do here, especially with the buff fire rate.
I love it. I mean, unfortunately, manually out of position and out of life, and back in spawn. Now the deployables are gone. All three of them gone here for Yikes, so now it's all about a neutral fight here. And Cyber has got to hold the line here. The supports are still there, and look at that. The health bar barely moving.
Yeah, the Iari and Baptiste just outputting so much healing. We do see Slater fall a little low, but able to live through. So, Bonsai Buddies get the first tick, but it's not quite Jover just yet. Ultimates on both sides. Potentially we might see a very late third tick touch as we see ultimates being dropped manually and Cyber falling. So I'd be remiss to say, if Yikes are somehow able to find anything despite having Captive Sun available.
I mean, they were too passive. They allowed Zebra to take way too much space there. Proto does get an exit kill, but I mean, all the value is gone. You're gonna have a little platform here for Suguru to be able to get up and have some fun with. We'll see them as the approach comes in. They're gonna have this high ground. They're gonna have vision as well, and I love what we're seeing here coming out from Bonsai Buddies. They are taking the initiative. They're taking all kinds of space. Zebra and Sugu are going to be up here in the front, just being able to put this consistent pressure down on the front line of Yikes. It's going to take a rotation here from Manually. Manually has to be the point of impact to get around the side.
Yeah, Yikes trying to look for something potentially with this Terra Surge Sun combo. The Suzu forced out the Oppenheimer, not quite there from Proto. So that it's going to be the Molten 4 from Slater, and Manually with the Railgun picking off Zomba. Bonsai Buddies did commit the Kitsune Rush, but, unable to just run themselves into this very tanky and heavy spam damage from Yikes here.
I'm sorry, did you just call it the Oppenheimer?
I would indeed call the Terra Surge, to pull people in, followed by the Sun, and then the Terra Surge confirmation to proc the damage, the Oppenheimer combo.
I'm proud of you. I like that.
Had the experience of playing that on LAN pre-Iari nerf, where it was even stronger, but Cyber even stronger on this Orisa, finding two pulse bomb from Zomba, not quite connecting, nor is this meteor strike from Zebra. So kind of being bullied by your favorite little battle cattle. Zebra not too long has to go back and rethink his decisions here.
I mean, so you basically have to kill like 8 games here against this Yikes composition, and that's why Zomba was so ticked off about the spamminess coming in. Spam heals, spam damage, spam turrets, spam this, spam that. I mean, can I get a Masubi with all the spam that I'm seeing here in my game? Hello?
We're gonna see both rail shots extended as well. The spam from the SMG, but it's gonna be Sugu cleaning up Jimical as well. Zebra on the high ground, just sustaining, waiting for the heals. So hard pushing for Bonsai Buddies. The spam, the meat, I guess it's a little old, a little expired, unable to stop them on streets here. See, last little fight with the potential Oppenheimer combo here for Yikes.
Oh my god, okay. I'm totally yoinking that. I have to, because it's just brilliant. Deployable placement, a little bit suspect, I have to say, coming from Max. So be a little bit more creative with how you push it in. Pulse Bomb does go out, and it does get the immortality build. Oh my god, it's all over.
Yeah, you know, the Oppenheimer combo comes out, I think picks up Zebra, but you know, despite losing your tank, I don't know, the numbers advantage seems like it's gonna fall in the way for Bonzi Buddies, especially with that nice little shot onto Slater from Sugu. It's only a matter of time before they cap here. And they've got 3 minutes to work with here in the Omnic City. Pretty healthy time bank, I would say.
I mean, boom, my friend. So here's the power of Sugureru. So we let loose with the Dragon Strike at Bookstore. Swaps over to Sojourn and gets an immediate overclock and wins the fight on the back of that. That's how precise this DPS here. The consistent damage. Zamba is the flea, and Sugureru is the delicate scalpel.
Yeah, the precision, you know, with this soldier managed to pick off Jimmicle. Slater, unfortunately, or fortunately for Slater, unfortunately for Zamba, dies to a deflect kill, as you see a bit of blame in chat, as well as the Kitsune Rush dropping down here. Bonzi Buddies looking to try and make something happen as a Zebra on 27 HP. Classic Things has, you know, the timing of all of this perfectly, able to maximize the value on this hero. Trying to push into C here, Cyber being marked by this Tracer of Zamba, Genji as well. Overclock available from Manually, looking for these manual shots onto Zebra, absolutely domes him, but Sugu responds with a shot of their own.
Cyber's being cyber bullied and bullied off of the battle paddle, bringing out the Junker Queen now. 61% to their Rampage. You know, they have time. They have the resources. They've got the spawn advantage as well going in here. Pulse Bomb is out, does not land. So now they have a bit of a moment. Sugu, though, is going to open up with an overclock.
Sugu with the overclock, you know, despite the Captive Sun and the Amplification Matrix, it's all Bonzi Buddies with you know, a little tree fitting to their name for their cap here. 1 minute and 30 on King's Row. See if Yikes can do any better on their attack.
Aye. I mean, really, Yikes didn't have a chance to set their feet during B. So we'll see if they're able to replicate what we just saw from Bonzi Buddies. I mean, Zamba is just too elusive right now. Can't we report Sugu?
I mean, you
yeah.
see why Sugu, you know, has been in contenders, right? Doing so much on this Sojourn, with the overclock in the neutrals, whatever it is. A lot to contend with Yikes. You know, they initially had a good time shutting down the kind of Tracer dives from Bonzi Buddies with the Torbjorn. But as we headed into, you know, Streets and Third Point, I think Bonzi Buddies were able to adapt and just outplay Yikes, frankly.
Absolutely. I think that's really where everything kind of went down. So we'll see. It looks like we've got maybe a little bit of a disconnect here, but we'll see as we go into defense here for Bonzi Buddies. No changes. And I mean, if you look at Otters, the ability to pull Zebra out of a really precarious position, that's where we see now the changes up. And well, Manuel's going to use the Symmetra here. One of the better Symmetra skins, by the way. We talked about Symmetra earlier today. Yeah.
Zebra potentially still in spawn. Looks like making their way over to the point with all the resources, like you mentioned, from the supports, the Life Grip, and the Suzu. Punch not quite connecting for this rotation, so Yikes just kind of taking over this high ground, looking for Otters, who's caught out alone, has the pedal platform, which Slater is unable to get to for now. We see a dash over the roof and being chased down really hard by this tag team of Lucio from Jimmicle and Slater. So really good identification and isolation onto the Life Weaver.
Could be Send 3, and now Bonzi Buddies can just really recontest at their own will. I mean, the Life Weaver experiment is gone. We've got others coming back on the Lucio, so they'll be back in the fight in no time at all.
Yeah, it seems, you know, Cyber unlucky and falls once again, 2 deaths in the 1 minute here, because, you know, the rest of the team unable to score on this high ground. Sugu once again on this Sojourn, just a surgical scalpel from Suzu on Sojourn here, finds the pick, and they're looking for a little more. Zebra staring down the frog, probably getting looking to get a little fancy with slam and punch into the midair. Not quite what's going to be happening here, but ultimate's available for Bonzi Buddies, and Yikes, meanwhile, only have the beat and window to work with.
Well, I mean, this is all about space control here from Bonzi Buddies. I mean, just looking in the back, there's the pulse bomb out.
Slater does manage to find some kills, and Zomba, you know, doesn't hit the stick, but able to clean up with the damage onto Proto here. A little low themselves, though, and forced to blink out. Go time from Sugu, and it's go time back to the respawn room. We're gonna see, you know, a tick here for Yikes. They've got the turrets set up as well. The recontest here from Bonzi Buddies with the Kitsune. Beat from Jimmicle, able to respond, which allows them to stabilize here on point. Bonzi Buddies looking to recontest with a beat of their own, potentially. See the Symmetra wall from manually kind of sectioning, corning off the point here, and the point keeps ticking up for Yikes here. Bonzi Buddies have to find something, and that's precisely what they do with the pick onto Proto. Slater trying to turn it around with the blade, able to live and chunk out a bit of Zebra's HP here. Cyber looking to potentially build the rampage, but doesn't need it because unfortunately Bonzi Buddies are unable to contest, and that's going to be a point A cap for Yikes.
Well, I mean, the fact that you haven't taken Zebra down yet is a big problem, but that is a better pick here, manually taking Kai out of the fight. So yeah, this is going to be a reposition, a little bit of a retreat here from Bonzi Buddies as they get their defenses set up. But I mean, they have 3:30 to get through the streets phase. They're going into the pulse bomb here, but Rampage ready to go. It'll have to be another great Suzu coming out from Kai.
Yeah, once again, I really feel like it's a question of if you're able to exert that pressure onto the back line, or potentially Zebra and force out the Suzu. The Suzu not quite there to save Zebra. Pulse from Zomba doesn't quite connect, goes a little wide, and falls to Jimmicle's melee. So, very nice streets here for Yikes so far. No ultimates, I believe. It's just catching out Zebra and looking for potentially more here.
I mean, winning fights in neutral always a great thing when you are an attacking team because you get to save your economy. Economy definitely in Yikes' favor right now. They need to draw Kai out. I think that's the big thing they need to do right now and get them out of the fight.
Yeah, Zebra going on in the engage, and that amplification matrix could draw a lot of people out. That's the Suzu gone. You know, we might see a rampage very shortly from Cyber. Connects onto Sugu and Kai, the Genji. Not too long for this world. Zebra joins them as well. Kai manages to get an exit kill onto Cyber, but I don't think it matters too much as we will see the cap for Yikes here.
Yep, 3:36 as we head into the Foundry, and well, we've got 3 ultimates online here for Bonzi Buddies as they stop to consider what their decisions in life are going to be. You got Zomba playing evil person in the back. Yeah, quick assassination, but they'll get back in the fight, no problem. But the blade could be a big problem here for Bonzi Buddies.
Yeah, they do have the B to contend with, so hopefully no Ajax is in our match today. You know, we are going to see a Kitsune rush potentially from Bonzi Buddies first. We'll see which team engages, and it turns out it's going to be Kai, but instead the B plate in a quick response from Yikes. Beats on both sides, so nobody quite dying just yet, although Cyber falling a little low, barely able to escape, but gets killed by their own teammate. The deflect from Sugu, you know, has found a couple people in this game. You know, these deflects from the Genjis here. As we will be heading into a pause as Yikes potentially looking to stabilize and grab a little progress here with some picks.
Yeah, we've got a disconnect from manually, it looks like. So we'll see what they have to bear. As they're about a minute off of the completion time of what we saw from Bonzi Buddies. I mean, double beat investment there in regards to the blade coming out from Slater. They absolutely win that fight on the back of the beat. So, the value was had there. I want to see what we're going to get here as far as the contest when we do get back to the 5v5 situation, because Cyber's really being bullied again. They're just taking their tank down left and right. And I mean, this will be, we'll look at it and see how we get out of it. Zebra very low needs to be healed up in a hurry. They're just going to be touching the point and using the tech as they will.
Zebra, again, knows how to limit test to the maximum, gets out safely, so Bonzi buddies looking to potentially find a pulse bomb here. A beautiful stick onto manually from Zombra. This Tracer in the back line. You don't have the Torbjorn anymore to contest, so doing a lot of work here as, go button from Bonzi buddies, of course, after finding that pick. Looking for a little more, might catch the Baptiste on the high ground. Genji, as well as we see Zebra absolutely pop off here. Looking for a little more. It's going to be Otters finishing the Lucio here, picking up 2 for themselves. Not too shabby.
I mean, 140 HP, and you go in with the uppercut and the seismic slam to confirm a kill. Then you come off the high ground and get slammed into the wall. I mean, this is exactly what you expect from Zebra.
Yeah, it also has this main wall to work with, to make that empowered punch a lot easier to combo into the wall. It's just going to be Zebra doming people, and a very late beat from Jimmicle, unable to sustain, from the pressure of Zomba here. So all Bonzi buddies taking down their time, and they now have got the lead heading into potential overtime rounds if Yikes are able to cap.
I mean, with the Blizzard upcoming, I don't see it happening unless Slater gets to deflect on it. Really, they don't have the beat now to survive through a Blizzard. You'll have the immortality barrier for a few seconds, but I mean, Zomba will probably take somebody out with a pulse. There's a Custodian Rush coming out from bot lane.
Ultimates out from both sides, both supports from Bonzi buddies in response to this Dragon Blade from Slater. The Meteor Strike does pull Proto very low, and a perfectly timed punch. You got the Blizzard as well from Sugu as a bit of an insurance policy. A little expensive, if you will. We should see, one more fight from Yikes and get a nice little kill onto Zomba as well to help them push into this.
I mean, you've got the Rampage, but the problem is...
And Suzu forced out too.
Oh, Suzu out? Okay, now it's time to go. Yep, they do let it out.
Yeah, Zebra and Otters caught by the Rampage, but, these super high mobility heroes just able to disengage despite having no Suzu to cleanse them. So, it's overtime here. We're fighting for a draw if you can even cap on the side of Yikes. The Pulse Bomb from Zomba goes wide, hits the wall, unable to find anybody. Still, though, looking to be pesky in the back line, forcing out a lot of pressure onto Proto, who's able to use the Moon Boots to live for now. We'll see if Jimnical is able to build a beat that could be extremely huge for Yikes here. They have the beat, and they're going to pop it as soon as they grab it. Bonzi buddies forced it back away from this Symmetra with level 3 beam, a wall, and a beat to keep them healthy. Please don't C9 if you're Yikes here. We're going to see a pick onto Sugu. A great start for Yikes here. They do have to worry about the Kitsune and the counter beat from Bonzi buddies. They have the amplification matrix, but it's all Bonzi buddies. It's Jover, Billy.
It's Jover. It's Jover, and I mean, what a great late beat that comes in from Otters. I mean, the Kitsune Rush is probably going to win them the fight anyways with the sped up cooldowns, but that beat ensures the fight win. And once again, it's Otters getting the work done with one of the better Lucio skins coming through.
Yeah, we got the nice little Bard Lucio, and this beat that we were talking about, play of the game for a reason here, using the window to their advantage as well, finding so much damage with the Cheerios. Yikes are putting up a good fight, against the star-studded roster of Bonzi buddies. Like we've talked about, Otters and Sugu have that contenders experience. Zebra, super good player as well, but it's match point for Bonzi buddies. We'll see if they're able to bring it back, potentially a reverse sweep on the new Flashpoint game mode after this break. Welcome back, folks, to the Console Gaming League. I am joined by Chef Billy, the one and only, of course, for our match here of Bonzi Buddies versus Yikes in the NAPC Open tier. Very strong, roster from Bonzi Buddies, reflected in the scoreline here of 2-0. Yikes, looking to bring it back here on match point as we head into Flashpoint, with our map pick being New Junk City. What do you want to see them pull out to kind of make things work here? We've seen glimpses of success and hope, but not quite able to seal the deal so far.
I would honestly like to see the Sombra come back out. We saw it for just a moment there on Gardens and Oasis. I think running the Sombra here actually gives you a lot of disruptive power with the manual hacks, and then obviously EMV is so, while it's not as destructive as it was before, you can still confirm some kills. You can still deny some of the value that Bonzi Buddy is running, especially if a beat comes out and you can throw that EMP out there and completely negate that. The other thing that I like because of the Sombra is the ability to get around the map. So, New Junk City is one of my favorite maps. I love these new Flashpoint maps personally. And the reason why I love them is that they're just so dynamic. It requires speed. It requires decisiveness. It requires a team to say, you know what? It just ain't worth it to go in. And we need to see that more often than not. So we will see how we go in here. Now, remember, we always start out on Arena. And then we've got 4 other points. We've got the Ducks at point B. Point C is Refinery. Point D is the Junkyard, and my favorite of the Flashpoint submaps here is Bomb Flats. It's so open. There are many different ways to get onto to the E point, and we'll see how these two teams are actually able to bring it out.
Yikes, opting for this monkey dive with the Lucio, I think, as we've mentioned on a previous broadcast, kind of mandatory for this Flashpoint. Like you said, it's a very dynamic and fast-paced game mode here. And of course, Zebra and friends will be rolling out on the Doomfist, as well as the Torbjorn from Sugu.
Not something I'm used to seeing from Sugu, to be quite honest. But this is going to be, they may think that the Sombra is going to come out here because of the repositioning, because of the speed of travel and transit. So, you know what? I respect it. But now it's going to be able to chunk down the bubble and or the Winston themselves. It's also going to give you a little bit of extra sight lines and a little bit of extra early detection.
We're going to see an engage dive from Cyber here on the side of Yikes, taking a lot of early space here, although Zebra and Bonzi Buddies are looking for recontest and in. They do find Zomba, though. Junicle is traded out. Zebra picks up manually as well. So first cap here for Yikes, but could be Bonzi Buddies with the numbers advantage. Slater low, doing a quick little flip here.
Oh yeah, I mean, you give up just a little bit of progress to come back together as a full 5, or as a 4, as it were, and yeah, there's Zomba back. So, I mean, you've got time to hold here, and
time to march your baby turrets as well.
Time to march of the baby turrets. You'll love to see it. Sugaredo actually getting the work done and keeping in line with the supports here as far as ultimate charge. So, I mean, you're gonna have an early Molten Core come out.
Ooh, Zebra's Seismic Slam a little caught on the corner there, so unable to escape. Sugu suffers the same fate too, Manually's Railgun. So, flip here for Yikes, just a neutral dry fight, no ultimates required whatsoever, and able to take up the percentage. 49 for Bonzi Buddies and 38 counting for Yikes.
I mean, double support ultimates ready to go for Yikes, still about 10% away for Bonzi Buddies, so they could get a little bit aggressive, especially with the beat, when Zebra comes in with the engage.
Yeah, Zomba, though, being a pesky tracer, have we seen throughout this series in the back, looking for this pulse bomb, and joins the engage with Zebra. Proda just falling, and both support ultimates from Bonzi Buddies in response to the... oh my! That was a quick little 2K from, I believe, the combination of the Powered Punch and Zomba and Subaru's Molten Core. So, looking like, a flip from Bonzi Buddies, although Yikes were in control of the point the entire time, so last fight territory here with ultimates online.
I think that you throw out I think that you put out the Primal Rage here and trying to displace the less tanky members of Bonzi Buddies and really try to get some point presence. Slater's so close on this Death Blossom. Pulse Bomb out, lands, but no dice.
Yeah, you know, just chunks down a bit of health from Cyber, who's healed up quite quickly. We're going to see point pressure from Yikes, and manually with a headshot on the Tracer. Pops the overclock as well to look for more. Zebra falls after getting Proto, but Sugu manages to get manually. Slater, though, trades back, so back and forth, but I think ultimately in favor of Yikes here with the numbers, just contending with, I believe, the supports here. And, you know, you have the Reaper chunk people down. First flashpoint of Arena on New Junk City should be going to Yikes here.
Absolutely. And I mean, this is a great turnaround for them, and they do actually take that first sub map. So, you know, as we now take a look at where we're going to go from here, we'll get the top-down view from our observers and see which way we are going. Looks like we are heading towards, if my look at the sky is right, I think we're heading towards Refinery. No, we are actually heading towards the Ducks. Yep, we're heading towards the Ducks.
And Samba apparently just a bit of a sitting duck themselves, dies to the Reaper of Slater. Cyber looking to follow up with more on this jump. Unable to find anybody, but you know, they should be able to find the first capture here on the Ducks. Lots of ultimates to work with as well, the Death Blossom, Primal Rage, and Beat.
Oh, hello, manually. Winning the Sojourn 1v1, nice and honorably as well, I might add. Zamba on their last leg, and yeah, they're actually pressuring down, forces the repositioning out from Zebra. This is a killable target if they don't get the heals. There is the healing coming through, but now you got double support ultimates ready to go here for Bonzi as they look for the recontest, but Yikes has point positioning. They've got the get out of jail with the Primal ready to go.
Zebra, though, instantly finds a pick onto Proto, and Kai's sound barrier completely denies the Death Blossom from Slater. Primal Rage pop from Cyber, able to pick off Kai. And picks up Sugu as well. Cyber gets a 3K. Incredible work on this monkey here. Looking for more, has to contend with this Doomfist and Tracer. Has the support of Jimmy Cold, but the Pulse Bomb clears out Slater. Zebra not too long for this world as well. And Cyber absolutely carrying this team with the Primal Rage. I don't know. I don't think Bonzi Buddies can recontest this.
I mean, you have to give it up from here. And I mean, Cyber popping it at the last possible moment. Such a great ultimate discipline coming out from the tank here for Yikes. Now they're going to go ahead and take this point. And now it's all going to be about the recontest coming into the next point. But Bonzi Buddies not ready to give it up just yet.
They still want to fight it out and put up a good showing, but, you know, ultimately, like we said, Flashpoint, sometimes you have to acknowledge that the point is lost and you have to give it up. The last second contest, you know, you're a single target, even if you're slippery like Kai on that Lucio, you're being looked at by 5 people. So that's the Ducks up for Yikes, and they're at match Flashpoint, if you will, for this map.
Yep, and we are heading into Junkyard now as the final, potentially the final map here in Flashpoint, and a complete turnaround from what we have seen so far out of Yikes, and manually going to have pop the overclock and see if they can get any value out of it.
It looks like overclocks from both sides, not quite finding anybody. Both teams just respecting these dangerous Sojourns and LOSing. Kitsune from Proto, though, enables Yikes to absolutely press go. A big stun from Zebra, unable to do much, so Cyber on this monkey. A really new and refreshed look from Yikes, doing so much here on Flashpoint.
Dude, Boom, I do not hate the Winston pick here. I mean, running into the Doomfist composition, completely ignoring Zebra, and going towards what I have been screaming for this entire series is go for the backline. Get the enablers, get the training wheels out of the way, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, we're gonna see, you know, so much pressure from this monkey, able to take so much space, is hit with the Pulse Bomb, but Primal Rage and Beat pop to keep everybody nice and healthy. Zebra looking to do something about manually on this soldier, and just got the rails charge and just been beaming away. And just to escape with half HP, so nice and healthy for now, but Zomba, a little dangerous as well. Slater just goes in with the Death Blossom, though. Completely off camera, we see both DPS fall from Bonzi Buddies. They still commit the Kitsune Rush because it's last fight territory, looking for this pick onto Otters, and Kai's able to find it. So supports really turning things around here for Bonzi buddies. They still have to contend with manually on this soldier, but the Doomfist able to get back so quickly, able to clean people up. Bonzi buddies looking to keep themselves alive here in New Junk City and finally flip over the point.
I mean, but they've got to be perfect now. And I mean, just that little bit of extra damage, a little bit of extra healing gets Proto their Kitsune Rush. So you're going to have Kitsune Rush plus the Overclock coming into this next fight. You've got a Sound Barrier and a Suguru Death Blossom, by the way. They had swapped over to the Reaper of their own. I think that's the big reason why so much work has been done here, is that Slater is just chunking with the Hellfires.
Yeah, and has that Kitsune to chunk even faster as well. The beat and Death Blossom dropped, and that's precisely what Sugu needed for Bonzi buddies. Expensive a little on the expensive side, but you really have to hold here because it's do or die, right?
I mean, you pop 2 ultimates for the one that Yikes pops, and I mean, for Yikes, I mean, you just say, you know what, GG, have the map. We're gonna go take our chances, either in bomb flats, or we're gonna go to the junkyard or to the refinery. And I mean, if it's refinery, definitely gonna be in favor of Yikes.
We might not go to refinery.
Right now, hello.
Really? Just picks off both supports, falls to Sugu, but 1 HP, Zebra 1 HP as well. That's gonna be a flip, and Zebra not too long for this world. Gymnical manages to pick off the remaining 2, Cyber as well, and a dominant showing on Yikes, showing maybe not so Yikes. Their bike is a pretty nice ride here, as smooth sailing on Flashpoint.
I mean, amazing turnaround there for Yikes. I mean, running this Winston composition into a highly mobile team of Bonzi buddies, and they just said, you know what, Kai is going to be our focus. Kai and Otters are going to be one of the first deaths coming out every time that we engage. That's exactly what they got done. So I mean, they really did put the work in. They got the rotations nice and clean. They just bypassed Zebra altogether in their initial engagements. Every fight, Kai was the target. They were looking for that Kiriko, and 9 times out of 10 they get it. So I mean, good on them. They take us to a 4th map.
Yeah, really looking to see if Yikes can show us more of this, adaptability, a really new look for them with this monkey composition. Heading into our 4th map of Push here, we'll see if they're able to repeat the same success, depending on Bonzi Buddy's map pick. Between, our Coliseo, New Queen Street, and Esperanza, what do you think favors Bonzi Buddies the most here, Billy?
Honestly, if you want a linear map, you would go to Coliseo, because you have the 2 archways around the butt scratch moment where Doomfist can, reposition or come down from on high. Unfortunately, you can also run the Winston in the same vein. I mean, almost kind of the same kind of engagements. You don't have the same kit that a Doomfist does, but Winston does have a couple of things that the Doomfist doesn't have, and that's, the sustained tickle damage of the Tesla cannon. You also have that, while it is weak, you do have that 600 hit point bubble that can really, save a fight. We saw that happen a couple times here in Flashpoint. So for Yikes, I think that, they have the opportunity. They have the wherewithal to kind of start the reverse sweep. It starts here. It starts now. And based upon what I just saw from Flashpoint, now, if they can get there, if they can continue in the same vein by completely bypassing Zebra and taking care of the backline of Kai and Otters and pulling the teeth out of the support line, I think they have a damn good shot of a reverse sweeping here.
Yeah, this reverse sweep will have to continue on Bonzi Buddy's map pick of Coliseo, as you brilliantly predicted. It's been happening with all the hero picks and map picks, throughout this game. So, I think these teams really thinking at the highest level of, what compositions and maps are work to their strengths here. How do you expect Yikes to respond? Do you want to see them stay on the monkey composition with this Winston here?
Okay, so what I know of Bonzi Buddies casting them so often is that they do have a Bastion strat up their sleeve. So if we do see the Winston composition, if they do win the first fight, I would not be surprised to see Sugireru go over to the Winston and look for Zomba to either pick up the Genji or stay with the Tracer and get that really nasty, 1-2 punch. The turret form, and then with Zomba confirming kills on the back end.
Seems like Cyber hovering the Orisa right now, given, I believe, the health bar with... Actually, that could be a Diva. I think Orisa... Oh, nope, Monkey, I clearly don't know my tank armor distributions, so forgive me for that. Seeing, repeat of the composition we saw here on Flashpoint, although push, while dynamic, I think not quite as fast-paced.
But you have the repositioning of the Reaper. You've got the Shadow Step. You've also got the Wraith form, which can get you out of a hairy situation and get you back into your support's arms. I think that's the other reason why it works so well, is that they were just able to kite away from a lot of the sustained damage coming in from Bonzi Buddy. So, smart picks. I love kind of this Creeper pick coming in from Yikes. Nobody plays Reaper very much anymore, but the chunk ability, the escape ability, all things that they need here to deal with Bonzi Buddies in the back.
Yeah, we'll see if they go for a very aggressive dive here. Colosseo, this kind of midpoint, infamous for being a very long poke phase, You saw Washington Justice and San Francisco Shock go 2.5 minutes without a pick. So, see if either of these soldiers are able to find anything, if we're going to see it engage from these dive teams.
Well, I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that we see Zomba actually, really proc the aggression coming in. Well, Zebra takes down manually. That is a huge first pick.
Yeah, the huge first pick and the punch as well, forcing the cooldowns out. Slater falling. Potentially, we're going to see Jim Nicole and Proto join them as well. So Zebra just cleaning up, using the Doomfist as a mobility to catch these staggers here. Manually also a little low here, although potentially, yep, falls to Zomba as well. Rough if you're Bonzi Buddies, but you should be able to get recontest in while the bot is still slow pushing the barrier.
Okay, I don't necessarily like the Sojourn pick here on Colosseo. I'd rather see the Hanzo, honestly, come out here, because you're going to have, a little bit of extra chunk damage. They have the one-shot potential. Yeah, charge rail shots can take somebody down. Yeah, you give it a little bit more in the tank, but look at that. Already out the gate. Slater does shut down the overclock, though, so that is actually a win for them.
Later, though, shut down themselves by Otters with the help of the Kitsune Rush, so more push for Bonzi Buddies, looking for that elusive checkpoint here. Yikes, though, have their own support ultimates to respond with once they get the numbers.
I honestly would rather see an Ana here. Provide the anti, provide the nano support, either to a Death Blossom or to a Monkey that needs the extra bolstering up. So, right now, while the healing is okay, I think that bringing the Ana here to bear pulls a lot of resources out of Otters. You can't just let them sit by chunking Kunai in, which they have done all series long. I think that if you force them to use Suzu, it takes a lot of their utility away, especially when the pressure gets really big on Zebra. You can't get them out of jail with that Suzu.
Yeah, between the nade and the sleep, you can only Suzu one of them, so... And, Cyber just chunked down by this Doomfist from Zebra here, who's looking for a little more, probably has to use the Meteor Strike to escape, especially when you're looking at Overclock manually, but Kai on the Lucio, cleaning people up at 3K, and these headshots as well. Shades of your favorite Reddit Lucio streamer, whoever you want, insert their name here. But off of that, Bonzi Buddies are looking to take the checkpoint.
They will get this checkpoint here. There's the last second contest. So actually, a Primal Rage going to be put out here, and actually dangerous for Bonzi Buddies. They have to watch the coast.
Yeah, they have to watch the coast, and they beat to keep themselves healthy, but the bot just kind of being stolen away here, so no checkpoint for Bonzi Buddies. Sugaru falling a little low, but able to escape for now. Finally, the bot has shifted back into the favor of Bonzi Buddies, but they're isolated by this Monkey here, zoned out by this bubble and the Tesla Cannon doing so much cleave here. Bot still being pushed by Zomba, though, and Kitsune Rush finally from Otters to respond. Should allow Bonzi Buddies to clean up and get the checkpoint.
Oh my god, Zomba, too clean. on the Tracer. That'll be butt scratch. 5:57 on the clock. We're at the 66-meter mark. So, I mean, as we round the 180-degree corner here, it's all about how far do Bonzi want to push their advantage. How far do they want to go up? And with the overclock, definitely pushing into that.
I mean, yeah, pick onto manually and this overclock as well. Slater does respond with the blade and cleans up the overclock, gets some as well, dashes into Kai's face, so the DJ getting rid of that Genji here. Meteor Strike committed from Zebra here, potentially just a little save KD, because they're disengaging and getting out regardless.
I mean, 73 meters is the difference. Well, more like 72 and some change, but I mean, it's going to take at least 2 fights for them to get through, and Kitsune Rush's early commit.
Yeah, early commit, trying to catch a Zebra off guard because they know they've used the Meteor Strike here. Manually manages to evade the Pulse Bomb with a bit of manual movement here. Looking for an overclock very shortly, building up as we will see the jump dive from Cyber denied for now.
I want to see them get aggressive. I mean, Cyber's so low right now, and Zebra back into the fight. Yep, I mean, just did not have the support necessary to keep him up.
Yeah, I think the Ana swap is a pick that they should consider here. Not finding too much success, like you mentioned. Brought the lead down to, I guess, 65 meters and change, but ultimately it's still a very strong look from Bonzi buddies.
I mean, the Ana does a couple of things. I mean, even if the Iliadi here, I mean, if you bring the Iliadi into the fight, you've got the consistent healing from the pylon. You've got Captive Sun that can really throw a wrench into their side. But Sugireru says, you know what? Your deflect's gone. I'm just going to beam you in the head.
Yeah, Cyber forced to disengage, after losing your Genji. Potentially caught out here, but has the Suzu and Bubble. Still, though, Bonzi buddies really, in control, whereas Yikes on the back foot here. Zebra might be forced to use the Meteor Strike here, as Yikes look to engage with the beat and catch Zebra. So, bot push, but should be a fight win for Yikes.
I mean, that's a great pursuit there as well, taking Kai out of the equation. There goes Otters down. I mean, you need to have 2 on the card at all times right now. I would honestly leave Slater since they're so close to their blade. I guess we're going to go ahead and run 5 on the point as soon as you can get. There's the forward spawns denied now for Bonzi Buddy, so any kills, they'll be coming from their own spawn.
Yeah, so looking to, stop any kills. No Ajax quite yet, so both support ultimates from Bonzi Buddies. Slater unable to connect with the blade. Cyber's Primal not looking too much better either, as Zamba is forced to back out. And counter Kitsune Rush from Proto allows Yikes to start head and go. Finds Suguru, but Kiriko's traded out as well. Cyber on this monkey, doing quite a lot of work. Manages to safely avoid the Pulse Bomb here. That manually? Zebra, okay, just Meteor Strike gets a kill onto manually. If there's anybody who can make those kind of things happen, it's Zebra, but Slater returning with the Genji, trying to chunk people down. Zebra low, but healed up by the Kiriko, and Suguru joins back with the Soldier and Rail Shot, potentially looking for more. Cyber escapes, and Bonzi Buddy still holding strong.
I mean, Cyber almost got taken out there. Got stuck in the doorway. Those broad shoulders don't fit through the narrow doors here in Italy. But Overclock, ready to go here for Suguru. We know how good they have been all day long. And look at the backline pressure coming from Zamba. It's a pincer movement.
Yeah, pincer from Zebra with a beautiful punch, but, Suzu from Proto able to keep everybody nice and sustained. Still looking for this overclock from Sugu, but it's going to be manually, actually. Just with the dry rail headshot, finding Kai. Zebra does trade for Slater, though, and Cyber falls incredibly low, unable to get the Mega just in time, so manually forced to pop the overclock and try and make something happen. Able to find their counterpart in the Soldier here, and beautiful shot onto Zamba. Proto showing they're no slouch of their own, hitting a headshot kunai onto their counterparts of Otters here. So, Yikes, with only 1 minute and 20, really have to get this push and win consecutive fights here.
I mean, ultimate rotation kind of even right now. Zebra will have to get out of jail. Meteor Strike. Otters coming up on their own. We're going to have dueling Kitsune Rushes. The beat, though, ready to go for Jimical. honestly, I would say go aggressive with this because you need to get all the meters that you can.
Manually, though, not so lucky, hit by the, great mechanics from Zebra, who is a little caught up and manages to get Proto as well, doing so much on this Doomfist. Yikes, though, still looking to turn it around, but without their tank and the bot escaping away, looks like it's gonna be a disengage from Yikes here, and they're in dire straits.
I mean, we're at 30 seconds and counting. It's going to take 2 fights for them to equal the meterage of Bonzi Buddies. Bonzi Buddies, really, they can just take their time. They can take these fights as they will because they've got the lead. They've got the time bank in their favor, and Zebra still has this get out of jail free card.
Yeah, Pulse Bomb from Zomba, not finding anybody. But, like you said, Bonzi Buddies, they have the luxury of the lead. They don't have to play or force a fight anywhere. Zomba does fall, though, so that should allow Yikes to keep pushing. See if they can catch any staggers, or in fact, we'll see Bonzi Buddies try and contest this with a Kitsune Rush.
Interesting, especially with 3 ultimates ready to go here for Yikes. They probably don't know that this Kitsune Rush is up again. Blade comes out.
Not able to find anybody thanks to the sound barrier from Kai, although, as I say that, Kai does fall to manually with the soldier in here, so bit of breathing room from Yikes, but a lot of ultimates expended. Cyber, though, makes good use of the Primal Rage and picks up 2. Zebra falling as well, but a slow push here from Yikes here. They still have to move this barrier before they can grab that checkpoint.
But they're going to have sound barrier. They have the overclock online, so they actually have tools to fight this out. We'll see what we get out of Sugaderu's overclock. That could be the fight kicker. We know how good they've been so far.
And Zombu looking even better on this. Tracer finds manually. Suhu not finding anybody with the overclock, but it doesn't matter when Zomba's just running people down on this Tracer, looking for a 3rd kill on this Lucio, but Cyber, in the meantime, trying to make something happen. Please don't forget about the point. No C9s in my day just yet, and they get the checkpoint, but those forward spawns have to come as soon as possible. Zebra on 57 HP, but has the Meteor Strike to get out. Kai finds the other 2 picks, and that's gonna be Bonzi Buddies taking down Yikes 3-1. Nice secure win on Coliseo here.
I mean, at the end there, Yikes had figured it out, and they were starting to get those picks, but I mean, it was just too little too late. And a 3-1 victory here to Bonzi Buddies, but I mean, this was a very close 3-1 victory for Bonzi Buddies. The scoreline says that they win by 2 maps. It could have gone either way, honestly, and Yikes have nothing to really shake their head at. I think just earlier recognition and earlier decisions on how to deal with this Doomfist-enabled comp. I think they finally got the algorithm right there in the end, but as it stands, too darn good. Too darn good coming out from Bonzi Buddies, and they take themselves to the 2nd round.
I mean, you have to admire, though, the fight that Yikes were able to put up. As we take a look at the match history as well, very strong team. 4-0 pushed Bonzi Buddies, I think, to their limits and showed a really strong look on Flashpoint New Junk City. Unfortunately, say goodbye to them for this mid-season tournament, unable to get the advantages for this postseason. Meanwhile, Bonzi Buddies, of course, moving up in this bracket.
Well, we'll see what Bonzi Buddies, their next opponent will be coming up very soon. But we'll see how they actually run with this. So we're going to go ahead and call it a night here. It is what 11:35 on the East Coast. People got work, people got school. So you know what? The continuation of the midseason tournament here, midseason madness here in CGL, will continue tomorrow and into the weekend with all the finality of round 1. Next week we'll see round 2 happening, different map sets, same teams. Now it's all about the money coming up. And remember, whoever wins the midseason madness here will get an extra map when we go into the championships later on in the fall. If they are the top seed, if they make it through the women's final, they're going to have that extra map to their name. So there is not only money to play for and prestige to play for, but there's also some tangible results here that they're looking for. So for myself, Boom, Rhino, and also Khazix, and I believe Hippie.
We got Little Joe as
Little
in
Joe.
the obs. Yeah, shout out to all our production staff. You know,
Oh,
we're
yes.
the voices you hear, but you know they're doing all the hard work to bring you the visuals on the screen. Once again, that's been me, Boom, joined by Billy. Hopefully, you'll see more of us throughout the week for this mid-season tournament. Stay tuned for the CGL and have a good night, everybody. Take care.
Have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I